Welcome everyone to a very, very special edition of Citizens of the Frontier. We are here in-person gaming with Joel Jackle, the aka Larmo Wint. We are continuing the one-on-one series with basically what Larmo did over his summer vacation. We are, keeping the 80s old school vibe alive with pizza and soda and chips. And, okay, we're going to start. Larmo had when last we left off, Larmo had expressed interest in assisting the Saurians in their land grab, I suppose you'd call it, of the island of Ventura. And since they just needed to make sure that he wasn't going to report their activities to the authorities by embroiling himself in their authorities and then being just as guilty as they are, they figured they could trust him. And they did need someone with security and computer skills.
Well, it really wasn't much of a choice.
Well, you could have gone to Kirkut and hung out in the luxury apartment for 14 months.
Less fun.
Yeah. So you have been working most directly with a Saurian named Mazoka. Mazoka is a Banar Saurian, which means she has the flat dome head and a very thin whip-like tail, and she tends to be a little shorter than the other three subspecies. And the subspecies are Kamir, Vanar, Kavak, and Talso. If I can manage to figure out how, I'll throw up a graphic. So the first thing they wanted you, they welcome you into that luxury hotel that had the solar panels and all the repaired windows and power in the central city. And there you learn that there are about 150 Saurians living and working, maintaining the radiation scrubbers and getting the power grid back up and going. They've also been, restoring the city, clearing the streets, and they have enough housing restored for at least like 1,500 people already. So when they've got enough, when enough time has passed, they plan to start moving people in very quickly. Power is a problem because they want to be able to power the entire island. And you soon learn that Ventura is one of 4 islands they are working on.
Okay.
So, as large as this one is, they're actually working on 1 larger and 2 smaller islands all at the same time that are very close to each other geographically. Which would be enough for their colony ships, more than enough room for the 1.4 million people they have in cryosleep. And the first thing they want you to do, they want your help with, is they say that there is a naval station here that has a lot of hardware that could be of very use. It has a lot of parts, there are weapons, and there are a few vehicles that they would like to have access to that would be very helpful. They're hoping to find a sonar unit.
Okay.
If they find a sonar unit, they can develop countermeasures so that they could do underwater construction without the Navy finding out. So they ask if you would be able to, if they were able to get you into the facility, would you be able to hack the computer enough so that when they reactivated it wouldn't alert the mainland military?
Yeah, I would have to see once I get in there. I can never guarantee. But I'd have to even give you a vague idea if I'd be able to do it. I have to get down there and see what I'm working with first.
Okay, they hand you off to a commando and his name is Hitoka, and he is in charge of this. He is Hitoka is an older Kamir. He has the fin and the spike tail, and he says, "So you're our you're our computer and security expert."
As a matter of speaking.
He says, "Well, I was one of the people monitoring you, and you did survive this long, and you guys did take down a quick death, so that's good enough for me."
Yeah, that was rough, but you know, if I'm the best you got, I'm your best chance. So let's see what we can do.
Okay, the good news is most of the defenses are deactivated on the outside. The bad news is there's a heavy-duty combat robot the size of a tank that's still patrolling the outer perimeter. We've timed it so that we can get you to the command building in such a way that you'll have between 30 and 45 minutes to enter and take control of the security. And we're very certain that the central computer will be able to deactivate the combat robot.
All right, so first thing for anything else is disable the robot, then see what I can do with this sonar.
If you can defeat the security and turn off all the security and cut off communications to the mainland, first thing, disable the link to the mainland computers.
Okay.
Then try and take control of the robot.
Okay.
Whatever you do, we can't alert anyone that we're here. So we have to make sure that we cut off. We cut the spine off of the brain.
Is there, if it takes longer, is there another window where you can come in later? If there's a 30 to 45 minute window at that time that I'm going in and then coming back out, is there another window later on in case it takes me longer?
If it does take you longer, what I would suggest we do is shut down all power and just stay out of sight. Hope the combat robot sensors are damaged enough that it will continue the control and not notice that we're in the building.
All right.
So we can't blow the door. We can't damage anything. We're thinking.
Got to get it nice and quiet.
Right. So it's the next city over. They get you there. I'm not going to pull up the map, but it's more on the coast because it's like a naval station. And they get you, this is most of the city's also been cleared. They want to settle here because it's a coastal area, except for the area around the naval station. So when you get near there, the buildings are all dark. And they said, we've limited our activity way outside of its sensor range. So they basically get to a part where you see that they've got a flag. And it's like, there's some wording in Saurian, which you can now read. It says, "Do not pass this point."
Okay.
And they point to a hole in the gate, a wide, an overgrown field that's like almost chest deep grass. And
chest deep for Saurian or chest deep for me?
Oh, it's going to be
Saurian.
It's going to be over your head. It's over your head.
Yeah.
They said that we'll go first, and you just follow in the. We can't machete the grass.
Right.
Because it'll detect it. At the edge of the grassy field is its track. We're going to wait for it to pass. And once it does, I'll tell you when. We're going to make the mad rush to the main building. There's a security door. We need you to defeat the security and get inside. He said, luckily, the cameras on this side of the building have all been damaged. So we're fairly certain they're not working. You see the combat robot come around, and it's like it's got four big round wheels, like complete spheres. So it's like a tank on four spherical wheels, so it's almost like a combat car. And you see like a heavy sonic turret and two other laser weapons off the sides. And it just kind of rattles slowly. It's got the dish. So it's like a 30-year-old, it's like almost a 25-year-old robot. And it's weathered. There's like a patch of grass growing on it. where some dirt had settled. And as soon as it passes around, they say go. So roll your dex.
No.
Okay. You're going through, and as you're going through the area, you step on something, and a grenade pops up about 5 feet away,
Mm-hmm.
and then hovers there for a second,
Mm-hmm.
and then drops.
Shit.
And they were like, everybody stopped,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, and at that point, the Kamir says, we're not rushing, and he literally takes out a machete and starts probing for mines.
Okay.
So you lose 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm. But that thing didn't blow up?
No, it was a dud. Remember, the war was
Yeah.
It's been years. It's been 2 decades.
Okay. So basically we're just waiting for it to blow up and it doesn't.
Right. Everybody just stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to the edge,
Mm-hmm.
and you are at the security door of this old naval station. So do you have open locks defeat security?
I do. Well, I don't have open lock. I have computers, and I have the device that I can open.
You have thievery, don't you?
Oh yeah. Okay. I guess that is opening locks.
There's a thievery roll.
Yeah, and then I have the electric opener, the CAS.
So it's a plus 15.
So it's plus 15. So okay, 60, 58, 58. No.
Okay, it registers at unauthorized.
Mm-hmm. Can I keep trying?
You waste like 10 minutes, and they say, "Is the security going to go off if you try again?"
Do I know that?
Roll your intuition.
8.
8. You're pretty sure if you try this door again, it may trigger an alert.
Is there another door to get in?
Roll your intuition.
No.
All right.
This might be over before we start.
So the Kamirs are like, "What's the problem?"
Couldn't get in the first time. If I try to open up the door again, it could set off an alarm. Do you know if there's another door, another entrance?
Not on this side of the building.
On the other side of the building are the cameras.
The commando leader literally takes out a grappling hook, hurls it onto the roof 3 stories up. He goes, "We're trying the roof."
Okay.
He goes up. You hear him like unshoulder the weapon, and he like comes over and he says, "Clear, get up here as quickly as possible, and the last one up, pull the rope up."
Okay. So Dex to climb?
Yeah.
Nope.
You fall. One of the Saurians below you catches you,
So they're strong Saurian.
and like pushes you back up, and he goes, "You're gonna get us all killed."
Hopefully things get better. I don't know what to tell you.
Try again.
5.
Okay, you get to the roof. I just gotta take something out. So you see that there is a skyline, and there is a door. This door also has a security.
Okay.
The skyline, you could easily break the glass and rappel
Yeah,
down,
but
you don't know if there are cameras.
right, and we don't want to break anything if we don't have to.
Right.
All right, so I'll try to get in here, and I make that one.
Okay. You manage to pick the lock in. You get in, and he says, "Okay, we're in." You go down 1 flight of stairs. He says, "We don't have a blueprint. We don't know. Should we split up or should we follow your lead?"
Let's stay together.
Okay.
Because I know what I'm looking for, you don't.
All right, so let's see if you know what you're looking for. Roll your perception.
That's what I'm not. 6. Yes.
You logically follow where you think what's the easiest place, the most logical place for the central computer to be. They've got the right building. This is the security. This is the security building. You are now at the door to the control room. It's on minimal power.
Okay.
So that's why the door locks are all still powered. You'll need to open this lock to get into there, and then roll your INT.
So 2 rolls.
Well, 1 roll to get into this door.
Nope.
He says, I have charges. I can blow this door. But if that happens, you have to get control of the computer as quick. You have to get within 3 minutes.
Either way, if I try to open it up again and I fail, there's alert. If you blow it, there's an alert. So either way, let me try it again and then blow it if you have to.
Okay.
Because either way, either I'm going to make it or shit's going to go down, one way or the other. So I might as well try one more time. Shit's going down.
Okay. Okay. It sends an alert. He says, "All right, everybody back," and he puts the explosive charge on the door. Gets in. You see the computer's got a countdown going on for when it's basically saying if this was an error, please enter your override code. If not, an automated alert will go out.
Yeah. So computers this time?
Yeah.
I'm either rolling single digits or I'm rolling 80s.
Right.
I would like to cut it in the middle. If I cut it in the middle, I'd actually make these damn rolls. I made it. Woo.
Okay.
I did cut it in the middle. Right in the middle.
You turn off the security alert. Combat robot's still active.
Okay.
Roll on the computer used to shut it down.
No. 80s again.
All right. Is there anything else you can think of? You can issue a successful command to the robot if
Yeah. Can I send a shutdown code?
you failed that, so it won't obey that.
Can I set like some sort of safe mode? It's like a software safe mode or a diagnostic, self-diagnostic.
You can set it into self-diagnostic where it would do nothing but run the diagnostic, and at the end of that report, it would report the results and then wait for a new command.
All right, so let's do that for now. I make that one.
Okay, so it stops where it is and just starts running, and then when it asks, in like half an hour it'll ask. If you don't answer, it'll just sit there.
Okay.
So someone can safely go approach it and deactivate it.
All right. So do they need me to go do that, or can someone else handle it themselves?
They can have somebody else do
Okay.
it.
So
they're just not as familiar with frontier software and computer systems.
They could blow the damn. Well, they can't blow it up because they probably set an alert off.
They said we don't want to blow it up. We want to salvage it.
Okay, that's right. Sorry. Do you need to? It's safe. You should be able to approach it. If you have problems accessing it, at that point, let me know. But if you can handle it, handle it.
Okay. So you're here, like accessing files, and they say try and find out if there are any naval vessels here.
All right. Computers again?
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay. A lot of the files here are corrupted and damaged, and so they do a search. They find one vehicle, and of course, it does not have sonar.
Okay.
So they're like, well, we can use it, but
it's not what you need.
It's not what we need for the. But they do find the armory. So there's plenty of weapons here. There's plenty of spare parts for repairing other things, and they now have control of the facility.
Okay.
Okay. moving on to phase 2 of the operation.
Mm-hmm.
Several days later, back at the main, headquarters, they tell you, well, we've got some good news and some bad news.
So are the bad news.
The bad news is we do not have a sonar unit that we can use to ensure security, but we have located one.
Okay. So I guess I'm gonna go get it. I hope you get it.
Yes, it is on the. It's on a vessel called the Hasbro. And
Okay.
You roll your logic.
God damn it, with these fucking 80s.
They tell you that 3 years ago, your Navy lost this destroyer in a storm.
Okay.
It's about 400 kilometers west of here.
It's sunk?
It's in approximately 120 meters of water.
Okay.
We located the wreck.
Alright, that's good.
We haven't approached it, but from records and, we have a good idea where it is. We don't think your government has launched a salvage mission on it.
Well,
So it should have an intact sonar unit.
yeah.
We don't know when or if they plan to salvage the ship.
Well, if they haven't done it now, it's been a while. They're probably not going to do it tomorrow.
And according to reports, it's sank suddenly in a storm, so we don't think they had time to set scuttling charges on all of the top. So we're not really interested in the weapons,
Mm-hmm.
although others would be. But if we can get the sonar unit, we can build a countermeasure. So we can start underwater construction on our tidal generator. And they show you the specs. The generator they're planning will power those 4 islands and double that output.
Okay.
And they're planning to funnel their extra power into the planet-wide grid to donate the power to the government.
All right.
As a, peace offering, I suppose. So you start they do several days of underwater training in gill suits. And you meet the rest of the team. Again, it is Hitoka, who's going to be leading the commando unit. He's an old, scarred veteran. There's Kodoka, a young Talsorian male. He is the technician who will be removing the unit.
Right.
You need to disassemble and remove all the computers on the destroyer.
All right.
Because they said the software is almost more important.
So I don't need to actually do anything with the computers except take it apart?
Yes, which is another computer roll.
Okay.
Because it's not powered, it's a shipwreck.
Right.
Well, Shinji.
Taking it apart should be easier than what I was trying to do last time.
Shinji is another technician, and she will be assisting you and him wherever, if you need an extra pair of hands or he needs an extra pair of hands. And the last is Janome, who is a female Vanar, and she is the team physician.
Are we going to be? Am I going to be disassembling this thing underwater? The compartment's going to be.
I say, yeah, we can't refloat the destroyer.
No, well, I was thinking maybe you could pump out the air, pump out the water in compartments. But all right, it's gonna be a little harder. It's gonna be a little harder to work in the gill suits, but we'll do the best we can.
Do you really need us to make an airtight chamber and pressurize it?
It would be easier to work in. It's not necessary. It's, to be honest, you would probably, if I was a Saurian, it probably wouldn't be an issue.
Of course. But we want to make sure that
my kind are less comfortable in confining suits, but I can do the work.
We'll bring it,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll see how feasible it is once we get on site.
Okay.
So you see that, they train you, they have all of this equipment set up, and the plan is they're going to you guys are going to be dropped off by a hydrofoil plane that they've salvaged from the naval station.
Okay.
It's not going to stay on station very long.
No, I would imagine it would.
It's basically you guys are it's gonna slow enough for you guys to dive out of the plane.
When we're done, we call you back.
When they're done, they call you back, and then the plan is they will come with a heavy transport, and they will sink a platform. Then you will float the platform, load everything onto the heavy transport, get back, and that will take the equipment, and you guys will come back on the hydrofoil.
All right.
All right, so are you bringing all of your goodies?
I bring whatever I can carry with me.
Well, it's in a vehicle, and you'll have a backpack.
Well, yeah. I could bring the kitchen sink with me on a vehicle, but I'm not going to bring it down with me on the water. I bring what I'll be able to carry down with me.
It'll weigh less in the water.
That is true, but I have everything else I need.
So you fly all the way out there with your team in the hydrofoil. I will post a picture, but this is a nice actual hydrofoil that looked very futuristic. So it's basically a flying boat that flies 3 meters off the water.
Yeah.
And just uses the air pressure to skim. So they're very fast, but they don't actually fly and they don't actually sail. They just kind of float and skim. So you get over the site. The Saurians dive out with their heavy equipment packs. No gill suits because they're amphibious.
Yep.
You are in your gill suit. Hit the water. I need you to roll a dex.
A 1.
All of your fear seem to be, you take to it quite well, and the claustrophobia is not as bad as you'd feared it would be.
The training helped.
The training helped a bit. So you turn the headlight on almost immediately as you're going way below the level of light. Where the depth you're going, there'll be no diffused light.
Right.
So you descend and you land on like a muddy, sandy plain.
I can speak normally, and there's a radio between us.
Yeah, they have a headset. They have a headset, so they can hear.
Because they don't need equipment, and there's a radio within.
And when they talk to you, they'll press their throat, so you'll get the vibration of their throat mic.
Okay.
But they did go over very simple hand signals. So if it's a message of less than 5 words, it'll be hand signals. If it's something more complex, it will be radio, and then it may be spotty.
Okay.
So you descend, and you, of course, see no wreck. And
here's my signal.
The commander says, wait, stay alert. He stakes a stake into the ground, takes out water, and starts doing a search grid around this part. And while you're waiting with the doctor, the other 3 are actually, you're waiting with Junomi. And the others are doing the search pattern, the search grid pattern in the spiral. And I need you to roll an intuition.
Made it.
Okay. You will catch a glow like every 2 minutes from the west.
Well, like a blink. Like very regular.
Yeah.
Well, I tell them that. I don't know if there's like some bioluminescent beings or if that's artificial.
Commander says, we found something on the front line. Follow the rope. And you
Okay.
see it go taut.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
As you get there, you see that it looks like it's a piece of machinery that's been rooted into the ground, and roll a logic.
made it.
Okay. What it looks like is the base of a tether elevator.
Okay.
But the cable's snapped. You see some of the cable on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
But someone set up like a salvage platform
Did
at
someone
some
beat us
point.
to this?
No, it's old and it looks
Mhm.
beat up, and there are gouges in it,
Mm-hmm.
and the cable, you see it's like snapped.
Okay. And this was in the direction of that light?
This was the light. There's a
this
light
was
on it.
Oh, there's like a beacon on it.
Right, and it's
Okay.
the reason it's still blinking is it's in emergency mode.
What do you guys know about the aquatic life around here?
There's nothing that dangerous. I mean, we haven't explored. Without a sonar baffler,
Mhm.
we're nervous about getting detected.
I'm not sure what did this, but let's keep very attentive.
Everybody draws their weapons,
Mm-hmm.
and within a few minutes, one of the Saurians finds something else.
Okay.
Also, roll your IP.
Made it.
You all go in the direction. You start finding bits of wreckage,
Okay.
and eventually you come to the sunken hull
Mm-hmm.
of the destroyer.
Okay. So.
But the wreckage around it,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a bit of equipment here. You find a helmet in the mud,
Okay.
and then you find what looks like an underwater explorer turned on its side with gouge marks in it, and instead of wheels, it has crab legs.
Okay. So someone was trying to salvage this, and then something ended that. Whatever that something is.
Although it's filled with water, the vehicle's still intact. You could
Okay.
enter.
All right. Let me very carefully enter that.
Okay, you enter it. You're looking around with your light, and you see the decayed. You see 3 decayed bodies, 2 Vrusk, and a human inside gill suits. And gill suits have long since run out of air.
Mhm.
All 3 of them appear like they were injured,
Mm-hmm.
like broken bones, or the suits have been ruptured. The vehicle does have minimal power.
Mm-hmm.
You can see like the light on it. There's a light flashing.
Yeah.
And someone set the light alert, and it's the crew's last log.
All right. Can I access it?
If you roll a computer, you'll be able to get the audio to your headset, but not the video.
Okay. Yes.
It's one member, and he is saying that it's not what we expected. The ship didn't go down. Apparently, it was attacked. We found damage in the hull when we got here. We were attacked by something large. It apparently had some kind of a cybernetic weapon installed on it. We feel that it might be a type of Sathar attack monster. We're not sure. It was very old, very large, vaguely resembled a rainbow eel, but 3 times the size, maybe 4. The vehicle is inoperative. Communications are inoperative. 1 of us is dead, 1 of us is wounded. We don't have enough air to even swim to the surface at this point. This will be our last log, and the 2 surviving people are giving goodbye messages to their families.
Mm-hmm. All right, I pass that on to the Saurians.
Okay.
Is there a timestamp?
This was a year. A year and 9 months ago.
Okay. I passed that information on as well. Any idea how far they got with their operation?
No.
Okay.
You'd have to get the only log that was saved for on emergency was the final one.
Okay.
Another roll, you could download the entire log, which would be, like it looks like there's 16 hours of logs here.
I'll download it, but obviously I'm not listening to it right now.
Okay, you download it.
All right.
All right. They said, well, let's do what we came to do. They find the vehicle,
Keep
the
a
wreck.
very close eye on what this eel thing is.
Hitomi says, I'm going to stay at the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
The three of you proceed inside. And I will keep a watch out for whatever this thing is. But let's try and move quickly, everyone. I'd really
Agreed.
like to get out of here as soon as possible.
Agreed.
So, as you are entering the ship, heading towards the sonar compartment, because you do kind of have an idea where it should be. They have maps of other vessels.
And I'm sure rooms would be labeled.
Right. As you come to the first area, which is the first major area, is it's the ammo for the recoilless for one of their for the main deck gun, and you see there is a fairly new item secured here, and there's a light on it. You'll have to roll a.
I'm curious, but I don't want to dawdle. So if we have time on the way out, possibly, I'm not gonna. Let's just get what we need, get what we came here for, and I'll check again later if we have time.
Okay. As you get to the sonar, you see the computer has one of these items,
Okay.
and so does the physical unit.
Okay. So what is it?
Roll your INT.
Yeah.
It's a scuttling charge.
Okay. They set them. They didn't have a chance to set them off.
Exactly.
Okay. Can we are they active? You said that they're blinking. Can we? I don't want to touch them.
Do you alert the others?
Yeah. There's a lot of explosives on board. I don't want to touch these things because I don't know what I'm doing.
None of you do not have a team explosives expert. He goes, is this a no? He goes, Larmo, is this a no-go? What are our options? These are your people. This is your technology.
So how would these scuttling charges work? I mean, they're designed for one use and designed for high reliability, so they blow up, and they haven't. So I can't imagine that there's like a central hub where you can deactivate them, unless you tell me that there is.
These do not.
Or they
Appear,
don't.
these do not. These appear to be newer than the wreck.
So whoever. Okay, someone was trying to destroy the wreck after it sank. This wasn't set by us. These weren't set by the crew.
Right.
Okay, so either the people who came here and who attempted the salvage, either they set it, or the people who took them out set them. One or the other.
Right.
I still don't want to touch them. Because I don't know what I'm doing with them.
Right. But they haven't gone off yet.
I don't know anything on explosives, so I don't know how much if I jostle them, they might, So I'd be very, very, very careful. I don't touch any of them unless I actually have to.
So you're going to try and keep working around it.
Yes. Do they have their own independent power supply, or are they hooked up to something?
They have their own independent.
Yeah, so that's I don't know if I take it off, it's going to blow up. So I'm just going to not.
Do you have any? You have computer. You don't have tech.
I don't have tech.
Okay. Roll a logic.
I have a high logic, but not high enough.
Okay. One of the other Saurians says, "I'm pretty sure that these are set up to detonate on remote."
That's not helpful at all. Okay, so what's the when the guy in charge hears that, what's he say?
He said, "Did anyone find a detonator on the dead?"
I don't think anybody looked.
All right. He said, "I'm going to go and I'm going to look." And a few minutes later, you hear, "Got some good news and some bad news," like in a panic mode on the throat mic.
The bad news sounds really bad, so why don't we start with the good?
He says, "I found the detonator, and I found the remote detonator, and I've taken out the battery. The explosives should be fine."
And let me guess, you've seen that eel thing?
It's in the area. I'm hiding in the Explorer. It's lingering in the area, circling. I think it knows we're here. It's very big.
Okay. So are we aborting?
Aborting and doing what? If we try and swim for it, it's going to kill us all.
So let's just do what we're here to do and figure out what we're going to do next later.
Okay, work quickly. The explosives should be fine to remove.
And the light on it is out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, well, like...
Do you... All right, so roll your computer to get the...
Yes.
Okay. He gets the sonar unit off.
Mm-hmm.
They're big and bulky. They take a while to get to that hole in the hull to get outside.
And I assume that it's me and the other two. We're all moving it together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes a while, but as you get there, you start to see the movement of a rainbow-colored EO with almost like a cybernetic head, and then like steampunk gears all around both sides of its spine.
Okay. And it hadn't seen us yet?
No, it's probably about 80 meters. About, yeah.
80 meters?
It's like kaiju.
That's a football field.
It's like kaiju size. It's not as big as the giant turtle thing on the island.
Okay. Okay.
All right, he goes, "Options, people."
I don't think shooting it is going to make it very happy. I don't see how we get out of here without it seeing us either. So, if anyone else got any better ideas.
One guy, they have spear guns and laser pistols.
Yeah, I have my...
The commander has a laser rifle and a vibro knife.
Yeah, well...
Well, they all have vibro knives, spear guns, and laser pistols.
I think we want to keep this thing away from us as much as possible.
He says, "I can crank it up to full on my laser pistol, on my laser rifle, and see if I can drive it off."
Don't do anything but full. Even anything less is just going to piss it off. Man. All right. So, I mean, it's really hard to gauge distance. There's no really depth when there's barely any light anyway. So, I mean, how far away is this thing to where we are?
You don't see it now, but you know it's in the area. It's kind of like Jaws.
All right. So we're gonna set this thing down. There's no point in taking it trying to carry it while this thing is around. So let's just set it down, and hope we're alive later on to pick it back up again. All right. I don't see any other way than to just hit it with everything we got and hope for the best.
And then he says, "Okay, what is everything we got?"
I have a laser pistol and a sonic disruptor if it gets close. That's about it for me. Stun stick. I don't think a stun stick's going to do anything to that thing.
You don't want to set that off underwater.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have even brought that.
Probably a good idea, right? I didn't bring my electro gloves.
Okay. All right.
My shock gloves, rather.
He says, "So why don't one of you set off a underwater flare?"
That I don't have. So one of you guys.
One of them does have a holo flare. He goes, "That'll attract it. I've got a rifle. I should be able to hit it from here. You guys open up with your laser pistols." Okay. And Larmo, what do you got?
I got a laser pistol and I got a sonic disruptor if it gets close.
Whichever you feel more comfortable with.
I'd rather. Can I shoot with the laser pistol and I see it coming toward me? I switch.
Whatever you want to do. Okay.
I'll start with the laser pistol. The disruptor. Wait a second. Hang on a second. Wait. I have the scope. I'll go with the disruptor. Hopefully, I won't
disruptor.
For that. Yeah.
Okay.
Disruptor.
All right. So, Janome says, "I'm going to set off the flare. I'm rubbish with the gun. I will try and fire if I can, but everybody be ready for it."
Yeah. I want to turn on my infrared visor. Does it this thing?
You can now.
Heat?
You can track it.
This thing is giving off heat.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have this?
No.
All right.
They don't even have helmets. They can't.
They don't need one.
They don't need. They can they see really well in the dark.
Okay.
And underwater.
All right. I can see it really well now. Yeah. Okay. It's over there.
All right. So they set off the flare, and it comes swinging very quickly through the flare. And
how far is the flare from us?
The flare is within like short range. It's like 10 meters. Okay. So you're luring it like within point blank range.
I'm moving. It's there. It's going towards there. I'm moving a little bit further away from it.
Okay. The guy with the rifle says, "All right, I'm tracking it. It's close enough. I'm not shooting until you guys shoot. I'm waiting on your mark." And the two Saurians go. They look to you like, "When you fire, we'll fire."
I'm not the military commander here. As soon as I feel it's close enough that I'll.
Are you? It's swum close enough that you won't get any penalties.
Okay, I'll do. As soon as it gets.
What are you firing with, and what is the setting? And how many
as
times
high
are
as
you
I
firing?
possibly can.
Okay.
As many times as I possibly can.
What is it hooked up? What power is it hooked up?
It's hooked up to the backpack.
Okay, so a laser pistol on a
No. The sonic disruptor.
The sonic disruptor on the backpack at point blank range. You can fire that once per round.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to write down the damage for that.
Hold on. 60-10.
60-10.
But does that do more damage underwater?
Yes, it does. Because I don't know if it does more damage underwater, but its range is better underwater because its sound travels better underwater than it does in air.
I remember I printed out the article.
And actually, it's a better weapon underwater than on the ground, than on dry land, as far as distance anyway.
Double normal range, but no additional damage.
Right.
Okay, so.
Okay, 31 out of 33.
You hit.
I hit.
Roll 60-10.
So was that 6? That was. No, it was 36.
Okay, 36 points. I'm going to say that the two technicians and the doctor, I'm going to say that they've got beam 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I'll say that. 20, 30, I'll say that's a 40% chance to hit. They're going to be firing laser pistol setting 10 twice. Their weapons will be done at that point. So that's going to be 2 misses because those were 2 percentile dice.
Mm-hmm.
First guy misses twice. Second guy hits once, misses once. Third person misses once, hits once. So that's going to be 10 d10 twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
10 d10 twice. Nice.
8, 9, 10. First one does. Keep track how much you did.
There. Okay.
10, 20, 30, 40, 51, 52, 53. That's first one does 25 points.
Okay.
10, 20, 30, 41, 42, 48, 49, 54. So that's 25 and 26. You can see the
It's
lasers are
54 be 27.
okay.
88.
88.
Total.
It's taking half damage from laser weapons.
Mhm.
So good call on the Sonic.
Yep.
And he set the rifle one shot 20. He's got a 50% chance to hit at this range.
Okay.
He's got beam 3. And he misses.
Ah,
So how much is total in total was done to the
88.
88 points of damage? Is that enough to drive it off? Okay. Drop that. You're 4. Commander is 1.
3.
Okay. It darts through the water like a shot. And latches its jaws onto the medic. She is screaming, there's blood in the water. It's basically got her in its jaws. She's still alive. She's got 50 points. She's been hit for 38.
All right.
The commander says, he goes, shit, reloading.
Mm-hmm.
The technician will fire twice. He's panicking.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
I'm shooting the back half of
He
the
misses
body.
twice. 72,
fuck.
72 and 73.
I'm shooting the back half because I really don't. I mean, if there's a chance to save her at some point, we'll see.
Well, it's massive, so you're not gonna.
All right.
You're not gonna hit her.
All right. Good. I don't want to hit her. She's probably dead anyway. That's a 47. That's a miss.
Okay. Let me see if this hit.
Please
Okay.
tell me he hit.
She draws her vibro knife
Mm-hmm.
and doesn't manage to puts it on.
Mm-hmm.
It just chomps, and you just see her top half and one of her legs go floating by.
Mm-hmm.
The guy next to you, he's like screaming in panic. He fires once and then pulls on the trigger a second time, and the pistol is empty because he has it on a 50 SU backpack, 50 SU belt clip, and he misses. The commander has reloaded. He will fire twice. He has a 50, 66, 83. What are you doing? You've only used 4 SEUs.
I shoot again.
Okay, roll.
I mean, I'm shooting, but I'm thinking to myself, I can get out of here, and I don't have an issue with pressure. If I have to get out of here and save my skin, I am.
Okay.
But I am not leaving yet. But I'm thinking it's in the back of my mind.
Roll.
27.
Okay, give me 60, 10.
1, 2. No, 16.
It's 60, 10?
I didn't get a single 1 over 5.
What's the total damage to the creature so far?
88.
88. Okay.
The highest I rolled was a 4 on 60, 10.
You're 5 and 6.
1.
It starts swimming towards the commander, but because he's in the Explorer, it's going to take him a full round. So you guys have a full round of shooting at it.
Okay.
All right, this guy, in panic,
Mm-hmm.
all he can do is reload it.
Okay.
He puts a 20 SEU clip in it.
Okay, that's a miss.
The
Please
commander
hit.
rolls a 91. He misses. The thing hits the explorer and sends it tumbling. So it goes up in the water. The guy is screaming.
Mhm.
It comes crashing down, and then you hear nothing but static. Like.
Taking one more shot and then getting the fuck out of here.
Go.
Made that one.
Okay, give me 60-10.
11, 16, motherfucker, 17, 26, 30.
30 points. Total of?
Hang on a second. 88 plus 16 plus 30. 88 plus 16. 88 plus 16 plus 134.
24. The guy next to you reloaded.
Okay.
Fires once.
Mm-hmm. You
That's
finally hit. Thank you.
that's 10d10.
Divided by 2.
Okay, 10, 20, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39.
So 20.
Okay, what's the total?
154.
It begins swimming away.
Okay.
He fires again and hits again. We got to record this. It may be back. 14, 18, 19, 20, 29, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42.
175.
Okay.
All right. Is it coming back?
No, it swims and it vanishes. You see that it just seems, it goes about 100 yards away,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just seems to disappear.
All right. I check on. I go get to the explorer. See if
Okay.
he's alive.
You go in, he's knocked unconscious, but he appears to be breathing.
Okay.
The technician swims with you. He goes, "What are we going to do now?" You realize he's young.
All right. So that
Oh,
thing's
yeah.
well. That thing's gone for now. Let's. All right. You stay with him. I'm gonna go up to the surface and call our extra.
He goes, "You don't need to surface to call. We can call from here."
All right, that's fine. Then call them and tell them what's going on.
Okay. The other, basically, there was one, I miscounted. There's a fourth team member.
Oh, okay.
The assistant tech. And the assistant tech was inside, was when you laid down the gear, she was watching it.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe she was a better shot.
No, worse, if anything.
Well, I don't know. She might have rolled better.
Okay. By the time you get to her, she's still with the gear and she's recovered the body, or what's left of the body.
Yeah.
You call for your extraction.
Mm-hmm.
They fly over, they say, "Okay, we'll be there in 20 minutes.
Make it 10.
I said, "We'll do the best we can." So
Don't know if this thing is coming back.
it flies over. You hear like, well, you won't hear, but they say dropping,
Mm-hmm.
and it's, and you see right, basically about 100 yards away, the platform,
Mm-hmm.
because it dropped where it had dropped you.
Right.
So you have to get
We have to move it.
right,
All right.
or move the platform.
Let's move the platform.
Okay,
So the commander's still out?
the commander is still out.
Okay. So I get the other two with me to move it. And normally I would have one stay with him, but I think we need a hand.
Okay, so you get the platform over here,
Mm-hmm.
and
Load it up.
roll your strength, because you're like just
Minus 35 though.
strength, not
Minus
stamina.
Strength underwater is
Okay.
less. It's minus 35, so it's not going to be good. No. Even if I didn't, it was a 97.
Okay, it takes you a while to move it into place. You get the equipment on it.
Strength should be more underwater.
It should be more. That doesn't.
At least when it comes to lifting things.
Right. So you get it onto the platform, and inflate the bags, and it starts
Right.
going up.
Mm-hmm.
and they say, "We see the bags have been floated. We're sending we're sending the hydrofoil."
Mm-hmm.
So you break the surface.
The command, they have to deal with pressure still?
No.
They're fine? They're fine with it? Okay, so yeah, we bring the commander up.
Okay, so the platform now is floating.
Mm-hmm.
Like the platform itself is still submerged, but there are 4 big float balloons on the corner.
Right.
And you see this zoomer,
Mm-hmm.
which is like 4 piston, like reverse rotor, and it's like a truck with 4.
Mm-hmm.
And they drop 4 tethers for you to hook to the platform. They're gonna lift the whole thing out.
Okay.
Okay. So as you're doing that, roll perception.
Of course. I'm looking at the thing.
Okay. Like the one that didn't help in the fight.
Yeah.
Now she grabs one of the tethers and goes to the opposite corner, and as she's hooking it, you just see this thing breach the surface.
Fuck.
With its jaws,
Mm-hmm.
and she like dives flat, and
Yeah.
it snaps, and now she's like flat on her back,
Mm-hmm.
and it just like breaches the water like maybe 4 meters, and comes crashing down with a splash and starts circling for another pass.
Get the fuck out of here. It's still in the water, right?
Yeah,
Can
it
I
won't
see
attack for 2 rounds, but you can see it because you see the fins of it. It's
How well does the laser go from air to water?
it should be okay.
Or sonic, same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just air, sound going from air to water should be fine.
Right.
All right, so I try to shoot it.
Roll.
32 out of 33.
Okay. Do you need 6 dice?
It would be easier.
You'll get 2 shots as it circles back.
11, 22, 11, 22, 23, 14, 20, so 20, 23. So keep that number in your head as I'm counting this up.
23.
23. Oh, you only gave me 5. So 20,
I didn't know
23.
how many you had.
20, I had one.
Oh.
Yeah. So 23, 27.
27.
27.
Okay.
No. 27 was the first one. I had to roll an extra die.
27.
27, 28, 38, 38 and 15 is 53. 53 and 9 is 62. 62.
In my notes, I said the second time
Mm-hmm.
it regenerates and it comes back with a certain amount of points.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's reduced to half of that number, it retreats again.
Okay.
It returned with basically the amount to drive it off was 60 points. I shit you not.
I needed that last die.
I
needed that extra die.
You had to do 150 to drive it off the first time
Mhm.
and 60 to drive it off the second time. So you fire once,
Mm-hmm.
you see it hit like right behind its back, and like the sonic wave goes through it and
Mhm.
just like gouges it, and then you see it dive,
Mm-hmm.
and you see like the long hump like Loch Ness Monster, and
Mhm.
then a 4-fluke tail come hit
Mhm.
and then descend towards the depths.
Okay.
And while you shot, the others were like frantically doing that. It starts to lift, the hydrofoil comes,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes, I can't lift the 4 of you with it. Because like the platform is like a large, basically you're almost half in the water.
Right.
It's just large enough for this thing. So you guys have to dive and swim for the hydrofoil.
Okay. Is that one that was attacked before? Is she alive or?
No, she was bit in half.
No, not the first one. The second one.
One sec.
The one just now.
Oh, she wasn't hit.
Oh, she wasn't hit.
She dove out of the way.
Okay, I thought.
It rolled an 87.
You know, the first one I knew. The second one I thought maybe she got landed on or something.
No.
Um.
She grabs the commander
Okay.
and like dives
So,
into the water and starts swimming
just
for the
hurry
hydrofoil.
up.
No, the hydrofoil is here.
Oh, it's hard. Okay.
Like and basically like dive out and swim for it. I got to lift.
Okay. So we swim for it. Get on board. We're good.
Get on board the hydrofoil.
Okay.
You know, they have the body of the, you know,
Mhm.
deceased party member, and you get back to Ventura with the sonar unit.
Okay. Okay. Well, when we get there, we let them know what happened, and I'm gonna go have a drink somewhere.
The Saurians have a liquor
Mm-hmm.
that they say that, you know, we break this out on special occasions. We don't have too much of it left.
Mm-hmm.
We're hoping to cultivate it here once we get up and running.
Okay.
And it is one of the most delicious alcoholic beverages you've ever had in your life.
Well,
And,
Jolicites love a good drink.
and they tell you, really? This isn't even that high quality.
Tastes good for me. I would look forward to trying the better stuff too one
Okay.
day.
Roll your logic.
Yes.
Producing this commercially would probably fucking net them a fortune.
Mm-hmm.
It's like nothing else you've ever tasted in the frontier.
Mm-hmm.
It's native to their homeworld.
Okay. Well, if they can make it here, they'll make a killing.
You advise them of that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they take that into consideration. And I think that's enough peril for poor Larmo.
That was scary.
Now you have a choice. You have the final report
Mm-hmm.
and the last, you know, goodbye message
Mm-hmm.
of a naval salvage team.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do with it?
Can I anonymously send it to? Would I be able to dig up information and find next of kin for these people, and anonymously send it to them?
You could, but you know that the Saurians aren't going to want any kind of risk.
All right, I hang on to it until this operation is known amongst the system, and then I'll do it. So I'll just sit on it for now.
Okay. We're going to do one other thing.
Mm-hmm.
The whole facility
Mm-hmm.
goes on lockdown alert
Okay.
because they said there's an incoming air vehicle.
Okay.
You're at the port,
Mm-hmm.
and it's they said that it's coming suborbital. It's a suborbital, you know, it's a system fighter,
Mm-hmm.
something that could atmospherically and it couldn't go intergalactic, but it's like it's a patrol craft.
Mm-hmm.
And they said it's on a landing vector.
Do we know who it is?
No. And so the Saurians are heading to a bunker,
Mm-hmm.
and they ask, we need you to try and make contact. Tell them you were shot down. Tell them anything. If they come close to the facility, you know.
They're gonna see that the look. If I was out in the middle of nowhere and like just making out of some roughshod shelter in the woods, fine. But obviously, I didn't build all this.
You're not in the major center. You're in the port by the naval station.
Okay.
That they haven't done that much work.
Okay. All right.
They said only if they find you.
All right.
Just make sure that they don't.
So all right. How much time do we have?
About like half an hour.
All right. I'm going to. All right. So it's a port. There's some buildings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's already run down and weathered. I'm gonna get something that kind of makes it look like I've been living there. Just really quick, put it together that I've been just sheltering in. I'm gonna dirty myself up, like I've been out here for a while.
Well, you're coming back from the mission, so
Oh, this is right after the mission. Yeah. Oh, it's not even after that. Okay. Oh. Yeah. All right. I guess I can fake it.
Okay. Roll we're gonna say that roll your dex.
Come on, more. What's that house? 26. Yes.
Okay. You manage to kind of keep an eye on this team.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go near any of the areas that start. They go into the security area you were in.
Okay.
So remember that door you fucked up?
Yes. Got their attention.
Yeah, it's an armed technical crew,
Uh-huh.
and they start sweeping the building, and they start to find signs that someone's been in there recently.
Okay.
Like you see their agitation and their excitement grows,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody's standing on the roof with magna goggles, doing a search of the area.
Okay. I'm just turning outside as best I can.
Okay. You'll have to roll a dex. They're going to start doing a search of the area. If you make this, I'll tell you whether or not they're getting close to the Saurian area.
Okay.
And if you fail it, they may spot you.
I made it.
Okay. They are not getting close to the Saurian area, but they do go down to the launch and they find that the hydrofoil has recently been used.
Okay.
Like you're like kind of out of sight. They're like, engine's still warm. It looks like it's been reactivated. It's fully powered. Like you can even you're close enough to overhear their voices. And we'll say, do we need to radio this in? The guy goes, not yet.
But now we have a spotlight on us.
Rusk kind of notices, he goes, and you hear him over say, anyone notice that the toxic rad gauges haven't gone off?
Yeah. Okay.
And he just ponders for a second. And he says, he mutters something and everybody like shoulders their weapons. And he just yells out, hello! He says, we know someone's out there. He says, we're not here to hurt anyone. We just want to know what's going on. If someone doesn't explain, we're going to have to come back with a full search. You've obviously taken steps not to be discovered. He says, all right, look, I can be reasonable, but I'm not going to be reasonable if I need to kick this upstairs and come back with a platoon.
Is there a white flag?
You can, yeah.
So I stick it out.
And then they go, you see them and he just holds like, he's like, all right, come out. He says, nobody's going to hurt you.
I'm not carrying a weapon. I'm walking right out.
Okay. Like as you step out, you drop, they see you put the disruptor down and head with them. And they are like, he says, I'm Commander Vilken, Vickit, and you are, sir? Or madam? I'm sorry?
That's fine.
Have you been here long?
Yeah, very long.
He says, could you tell me what's going on here? You do know that this is a restricted zone.
I've been here a while.
One of the
long.
guys comes over and he says, he's not irradiated. Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I've been here a while. I'm feeling okay. I don't really know how long I've been here.
Okay.
Crashed a long while ago. Just figured out how to stay alive all this time. Didn't really expect to find anybody. Didn't expect to see you or anybody else coming back.
So, roll your personality.
What is
the PER?
28 out of 35. I made it.
They actually believe your story that you are a crash survivor. They asked the doctor to look you over. And the commander's like, okay, so we can give you medical attention. If your story checks out, you shouldn't face any charges. You'll have some explaining to do, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, one of the soldiers says, our transmissions are being jammed.
Okay.
And 20 Saurians jump out from concealment with jet rifles.
Okay.
And
sorry, guys.
And he says, friends of yours?
Good.
Yeah, but look, listen, just big. They've been kind to me when they didn't have to be. Just don't be hostile or aggressive, and you're going to be fine. I didn't even know they were going to pop out just now.
He says, look, I can tell by your accent, even though you're not human or Frusk, you're a solar miner citizen. I'm going to take your word for it, but if anything happens to my men, you and I, this is going to be personal.
I understand.
Can I trust you?
You can trust me. I put my arms out.
And basically saying sorry and tell them to put it down or we'll open up. And they said, we've got non-lethal rounds. We're not trying to kill anybody here, but we cannot let you understand, Larmo.
Oh, I understand. I'll tell them what they told me. Like, they're not going to kill it. Look, if you make them fire, they're not trying to kill you.
He says, if they fire, it's.
I'll tell you this.
You realize I can't.
If you fire, you'll live, but it'll hurt less if you just put it down.
This is leap of faith, and he says, he commands the group, all right, everybody, drop your weapons. We're all going to have a nice, peaceful chat. He says, tell them we're going to move slowly and disarm.
I
Tell them that I am a military officer with the, solar miner system.
I tell them that, and I tell them I can't tell them what to do, but I ask them to, when they put their guns down, you put your guns down. Last thing we need is a misunderstanding to happen.
Okay. And we're going to pick up next time.
Okay.